Good afternoon everyone present here. Myself Dhanvin TH of class 10th. Today we have gathered here for a special program. I welcome our speaker of the day Nishal Bethi and teachers and all my friends who have assembled here for this program. I take this opportunity to welcome our speaker Chiranjeevi Nishal Bethi of 2nd PUC. Chiranjeevi Nishal has represented Sri Ramakrishna Vidyashala and Mysore in the national level Inspire Awards competitions. He has also been the part of Sakura program held in Japan. Today, we have gathered here to learn from the journey of our senior and learn values from his experience. Can I start the questions?
Yes, you may.
I'd like to start with some basic questions. Nishal Bethi, can you share the story behind the project or the idea that brought you to the international stage? Can you explain about the spark which came to you so that you could participate in competitions at national level?
Namaste to everyone present here. So I am Nishal. So coming to your question, I remember when I was in 6th or 7th during the post-COVID session. I was just playing with my friends, by the road. We were playing football, and then the ball went into the sewer, and then there was woos and ahs from all of us. And then we were very reluctant to go near it, but at the same time there was some maintenance work going on, so I saw many people working out there. So that was the first time I thought we are very reluctant to go to these areas, but then how are they able to stand in the sewers and work in sewers? So that was my first time. And then I came back home, and then after coincidentally, so I saw a documentary on manual scavenging. So then I took it up a bit seriously to think about this.
Okay. What was it like to compete at national level? How do you feel about scientific temper of the other Indians who competed against you in the national competition which was held in New Delhi?
It felt really, I felt really proud, and it was very nice. And then coming to other competitors, there was healthy competition between us. So I remember one guy, I don't know from which state, he had developed his own GPT. Then the depth of his knowledge in those areas actually inspired me a lot. I should work harder. And then seeing how competitive my generation is, our generation is, seeing how advanced they are, and then how well they think, it was motivation for me to think better and sort.
We all know that you were the part of the Sakura program which was held in Japan for a week. Did Japanese culture influence you in some ways? Did it inspire you to get better in life or something like that? Can you substantiate?
Yes, it has impacted on my life very majorly. I've been reading about Kaizen, Ikigai and stuff, and then I get to know how they think, how their system works, how their culture is, how systematic they are. And then when I was visiting in Japan, we had a supervisor from the Japanese side. Her name was Mizo, we called her Mizo ma'am. So she, the way she behaved, after we finish eating our food, we just leave our chairs and then go out in the hotel. But then she kept it right, and then she told us to do it so. So that way, every minute things that we do in life, it showed me the importance of many things. Everything has its own importance. And then coming to the other part, the way they work, they are workaholics, they say, but then they are so sincere to their work. They strive hard to do well. So that is something which I need to learn.
We know that you were the part of the Inspire Awards for 2 years, and you were actually schooling at that time. How did you balance your academics and co-curricular activities such as these?
So balancing both curricular and co-curricular activities was very hard. I applied to Inspire in 9th standard, and then I got selected to the nationals in 10th. And then in 10th, it being held, the exam being held by the government for the SSLC public exam, we were nervous about the exams too. So when I tried balancing both, I actually could not manage it, and then I failed many times. But then all the elders, especially VSS sir and then Swamiji's, helped me a lot. Even in my first PC, when I got selected for the international level, our Varan Swamiji, Swami Agaranandji, and other teachers helped me a lot, and giving me good support and guidance.
What is the most interesting lesson or value you have learned through your journey of these 3 years of what you were working in science and innovation?
First thing is, my knowledge of science was very low, almost null. So this entire program, like entire process, was a learning process for me. And then definitely, if I see now and stand my old self and I see my old self, I can tell that I'm better than that. So it has helped me to learn many things, and then it has inculcated in me the growth mindset. No, I want to grow and then stuff. So the entire process was supportive for learning.
What is the non-scientific thing that deeply influences your scientific thinking? What have you discovered in this process, like some value or some moral which helps in scientific thinking?
Yes. So coming to that, I feel the science is developing fast, but then I don't think many people realize that science has its own end. And then being in an institute like Ramakrishna Vidyashala, I'm thankful. I get opportunities to learn more than more about spirituality and stuff. So I feel spirituality has been something if not greater than science, something complementary to science, and then it is something where the end of science is where spirituality begins, they say. So then it has been a very important part.
What ignited the curiosity in you that made you do this project? Like you told about the background story of football while you were playing football with your friends. Like how did it fuel for 3 years? How did you maintain the curiosity level?
I think it's a coincidence because I saw it happen while I was playing, and then shortly I saw a documentary about manual scavenging, and then in my previous school we had the same there was entries open for Inspire Awards. I was thinking for that too. So there I first thought of it initially, and then made some sort of dummy model. But then there in the old school I didn't I could not finish it. And then I came here to 8th, and then in 9th BSV sir, Vinay sir was asking for entries for Inspire Awards, and then I submitted this idea again, and then it was a bit more refined, but then what I thought initially and what it is today, it is a lot different, because I had I didn't have any much of scientific I didn't see it from scientific perspectives. So as I said, it has been a learning process for me. That's it.
What was the interesting thing you learned from a student or a mentor from Japan? Like the friends or people who were with you for a week, what qualities of them you thought is to be inculcated in India as well as?
Well, the first thing is sincerity. Well, even Swamiji says, we must pay as much as attention to any means of work as to its end. So, I feel like every small work they do it with so, concentration, so much sincerity. I think we should inculcate that. And then cleanliness is another point. Even roads in Japan were so, prick clean. You will not find any litter around. And then, as I told, they do it they strive for perfection. And then from other teammates is, while we were visiting from India, I had we had other countries from Ukraine, Malaysia too, and then the Ukrainians were very confident. They could even if they don't know anything, they were willing to try, and they did it with a lot of confidence. They were very bold in doing it. And then the Malaysians, their English was so good that they were so eloquent, and then they could speak extempore. It was so nice to see them speaking. and like I felt that I should also learn to speak better, and then I should focus on my language, and then how I can put things across the table. So that thing also like impressed me. And then from the Japanese, the sincerity and stuff, and then the dedication, like they give work the prime importance in their life. So that is one more thing I learned.
While you work, how do you deal the frustration of not finding an answer in the right way, or when things does not work in your way, how do you manage to set yourself back?
I am pretty bad at it actually, so I get frustrated very easily, but then I take guidance of elders, as I said, and then they help me a lot. So all the credits go to elders and then their guidance.
Is there a scientific idea that completely changed your worldview?
Yes, while I was visiting Japan, we were taken to NIMS. So NIMS stand for National Institute of Material Science. There, an Indian scientist named Dr. Anirban Bandyopadhyay sir. So he was conducting experiments on neuroscience. He was like, his lab was so filled with stuff, and then there was buzzing lights, sounds, wires going from here and there. It was like really fascinating. And then he was trying to find what how the brain works, what consciousness is, what exactly it is. And then he told his main goal was to separate consciousness from matter. So that thing intrigued me the most. After coming, I was like pondering over that subject, and then I'm trying to study more on it.
What areas of science do you think will shape the future the most in the next decade?
I feel it is neuroscience. Given the I have met Anirban sir, and then this influence on me, I feel neuroscience is going to change. With Elon Musk trying to do with new things with Neuralink and stuff, and then new words popping up, new fields popping up like neurocosmetics, etc. So neuroscience is going to be something very promising. It has something very promising, I feel. And then but then what I feel is people must we should think more about sustainability, because so much pollution is happening, and then more of our focus should be rather than other fields than onto sustainability, because there is one famous sentence that man has learned to sail on the oceans, he has learned to how to reach the moon, but still he has not learned how to live on this earth. That should ring something in our minds, that we are exploiting earth and then we are spoiling it. I think we must replenish Mother Earth.
If science were a story, where do you think we are right now? We means India. The beginning or the middle or a plot twist?
Like the story of science, I am not expert, but then I feel that the story of science is very long, and then we are somewhere before the plot twist, because we are exploiting minerals and stuff at very faster rate, and then after we reach the peak point, I doubt that many scientists and experts are telling that Earth will be barren, and then there will be an annihilation of the human race and stuff. So I feel that we are about to face the twist. We are going to see the twist. So it is now up to us how we decide, and then take up the decision either to survive, sustain Mother Earth, or go the same way, and then it would be a very sad story.
Now I would like to open the session for the audience to ask their queries and their questions to our speaker Nishal Bethi. Please raise your hands.
At national level in Inspire Award Monarch, what the projects you have seen, which were extraordinary, you think?
I saw the field was very various. When it comes I initially I heard the word innovation, my thought always went to something related to electronics, something related to components and stuff. But then that was the first time I realized that there is something beyond, because I saw some people making something very great out of waste, like the leftover stock, of the paddy. Some were making bowls, pots out of it, and it looked very nice. And then most of the things were related, definitely, like drones, an automatic seed sowing machine and stuff. And then apart from that, one project which I liked the most was one from Maharashtra, a guy from Maharashtra named Chinmay. He had used wheat stalk to make straws. It was so economical and then practical to use that we were like so fascinated. And then I asked him, like, why don't you take it to some, why don't you pitch this and make it into a startup or a business? Like, it was so practical, easy. All our ideas were more of sort of prototype and stuff. His was so, like, it was ready to use. You see how much plastic straws are making damage to this earth. So his alternate was using the wheat, dried wheat stalk. He had, done, straws. And then we tried it too. Paper straws generally dissolve within 10 to 15 minutes after use. And then again you have to recycle it, and then while recycling you'll be making a lot of carbon footprint will be there. So his idea I felt was very nice. And that one particularly I like the most.
Actually, when you visited Japan for the Inspire Award competition, did you have any competition related to your project?
No.
Related to the drainage system?
Sorry?
Did you have any competition related to your project? in Japan?
No, it was like initially we were like 600 odd people in the national level. There we were visited by 3 sets of juries, and it was exhibition sort of thing. So there like the juries awarded marks, each jury set awarded their own set of marks, and then the total was taken, and then 37 or 38 of us were awarded as winners, and then a few others were like awarded as level 1 projects, level 1. Among the winners in level 1, those who met the age criteria given by the Japan government, we were selected for the Sakura Science High School program. So that program has nothing related to this project, but then it was more a sort of program for us, to think more about innovation, and then to take up science as a field to study in our undergraduate and postgraduate. So for higher studies, it is like that program. The motto of the program is to develop interest in the current generation to focus on science. That's it.
Next question.
Could you explain how your project works?
So my project was this one is a prototype. So my idea was that whenever there is block in sewer lines, small drainage pipes, they break open the whole entire area. They break open the slabs and then check where the block is, and then they get in. They put their hands, they use shovels and stuff to open it. So my idea was how to what extent can I reduce human intervention in that process. So if this module can be lowered into the drainage line and then operated remotely using mobile. This works on Wi-Fi, so you can operate on Wi-Fi. So this is just a prototype. So if you can go in and check where the block is, and then there are other block clearing methods like jack rodding, pressure, suction sets, and etc. And then you can somehow use them to open the block if the block is very big and tough to break. Or else if it is easy, if it is very small block, generally block is made up in this drainage is cloth, grease and stuff, nothing very hard. Sometimes mud and gravel, when rainwater comes. So if I can open it with the same device, it's okay. Or else if I can use any parallel alternative. So it was the main motto is to reduce human intervention in sewage cleaning.
Next question. Okay, I have a question from my side. You had been to the Sakura Japanese program for a week. What type of activities were you exposed there? What was the routine there or something like that?
We were there for 5 days. And then the entire Sakura Science program team had people from 4 countries: India, Ukraine, Malaysia, and Taiwan. So we were all housed together in a single hotel. We were first taken, to the headquarters of Japan Science and Technology Agency. JST hosts this program, the SSHP, Sakura Science High School program. So there we were given introduction, and then there we had one person, having introduce ourselves to each other. We had that one, session. So that session kind of boosted the confidence within us. We were we were asked to tell about ourselves, from which nation we come, and then our hobbies, what age are we, where are we studying and stuff. So that I could know that many of them had very interesting hobbies. Then I later reached out to them and then spoke to them, made friends with them. So that thing, they helped us to network, they helped us to build bonds. And then we had a quiz kind of thing, it was just for recreation. So and then we were taken to various institutes, we were taken to JAXA Tsukuba Space Centers, and then NIMS. JAXA is the space agency of Japan. There we were taken around in the bus to many isolated areas where astronauts are trained, kept in isolation before they are sent. Many tests are done on them, and then we were allowed to experience microgravity. That experience was very nice. And then we were taken to NIMS. There we visited, in NIMS, almost 30 to 40% of them are Indians who are doing their doctorates and postdoctorate research there. So it was very nice to see so many of our Indians there, in a foreign land. And then later we were taken around to some cultural places, a Shinto shrine, and then Asakusa shrine somewhere in the Tokyo prefectures. And then we were taken to many other museums. And then there was one particular session from mathematician Jin Akiyama, and that truly actually increased my interest about maths. Maths, as we see, sometimes we feel it is a dry subject, but then the applied mathematics is so interesting. And then he made us many experiments from our hands. It was very so much interactive, and the session actually intrigued us to learn more about mathematics. So it was we were taken for a complete cultural, scientific fronts of Japan. So it was a pleasant experience.
So we have another question here.
Which process of your preparing your prototype or model was more challenging?
Probably initially I had no idea on how to make this. So and with the guidance of PSS sir, we were trying to do initially I thought of it as a different thing, but then finally it ended up in a different way. And then I realized what shortcomings I had in my initial design and thought. So that process was the most difficult one, understanding what I was what of my thinking was wrong, then how can I correct it, and that part was very hard.
So do we have any other questions from the audience? So thanks Nishal Bethi for joining us for this wonderful session and explaining your views. Can you express your views about this session conducted particularly?
Yes, actually, and for this entire project to come in, initially there were many coincidences, and then one decision which I think has most influence on this is me deciding to join Vidyashala again for PUC. If I had been elsewhere, I don't think I could have given so much of importance to this, and then I don't think I could have even got the necessary guidance I required for this. So I think that one has played an important role in my life. So all elders and then Swamijis and then especially VSS sir. So everybody kept motivating me to do better and better. So I think that is the most important thing.
So thank you for joining us for this wonderful session. I from Sri Ramakrishna Vidyashala thank you for joining this session and making it fruitful. Thank you.
Thank you.